At that, back to you guys.
Well, you're going to issue a challenge like that, Paula. I am going to try to top that. Okay, it's not opera, it's rock and roll. April Wine has been rocking Canadians and the world since 1969. Let's have a listen. In 1977, Brian Greenway quit his job as a forklift driver and joined the band as guitarist and background vocalist. He's since released solo albums and toured all over the world with April Wine. But this past week, he played a more modest venue, YMCA's Camp Kanawana in the Laurentians. He was teaching campers how to rock. Please welcome Brian Greenway. You said, oh my God, when you saw those videos.
Yeah.
How old is that footage?
Oh, that goes back to probably 79.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have been doing this for a long time. That's amazing.
37 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty unusual in this business.
Well, who would have thought? It's, you know, classic rock is a new business.
Yeah.
Well, new, I mean, from the 60s, and music itself, rock bands and that from the 50s. And we don't, no one's ever known how far it could go.
And it just keeps going.
And thanks to radio and just that it's good music. And people like it. It's been passed on from generation to generation.
Yeah, I always wonder for the musicians that, I mean, you've been doing it now for almost 30 years, touring still with the band.
Yeah.
Does it ever get stale or is it still fun?
The playing's fun. The traveling is not as, well, it's not fun anymore. Not with all security stuff. When you could just go. Now you got to line up with all the rest of the little ants and go through security.
So you've moved on now, and you're going back to camp, as it were. Tell us about why did you decide to go back to the YMCA camp?
It had been 40 years since I'd been there, and a good friend of mine, Andrew Cadell, said, they have a rock school up at YMCA Canawana now. Would you be interested in doing it? I said, sure, why not? You know, be fun to go up and see the place again. Well, this turned into a whole event, and I said, wow, you know, this is neat. I walked in the doors of the place, and last week, it was like the place had never changed. It was amazing. It was like the place had never changed. Yeah,
there you are.
The blockhouse, the lodge, that was last week with the kids. The School of Rock and all these, there's some talent up there.
Really?
There really is.
Tell me.
I learned a lot about, I was inspired by the young kids that are really into it. It reminded me of me when I was 15 years old. Last night, the show there, I saw some singers and stuff that I hadn't seen before in the camp. There was in the week when I was up there, there was a girl just playing flute practicing. She was marvelous.
Wow.
And that wasn't there when I was at camp. Maybe somebody, one of the counselors had a guitar. It was more woodsy and learn to make a fire.
Yeah, well, I was going to say woodsy. I mean, I know from reading the notes that you said it taught you about your love of nature and everything.
Yeah.
When I think of camp, I don't think about a school of rock. Is this is a new thing?
They're having this. I think this was their second or third year they have it, and the camp has instruments, and it's one of the only place in the camp with electricity for events. You need it.
Right.
The rats are running away.
So how did their kids react to you? I mean, had they heard of April Wine?
Some had, some hadn't. The younger ones, no. Who's this? Oh, is it Rockstar? Okay, we'll go with that. Right.
Right.
Some of them knew the stuff, but they were taken with the fact that I could come up there and work with them, and I was taken by the fact they were so keen on you know, just not this old guy around them.
Yeah.
I like what you do. How do you do that? Now, I was not teaching them just how to play music, but how to rehearse. You know, how to put on a show. Yesterday was I'm setting up the PA system with them, and so how this goes this way. How about being on the road and what's it like just to be a musician? This is last night.
Right. So you guys actually gave a concert. We've got some pictures of that.
Canna Woodstock, it's called.
Right.
And
and was it? Oh, so you played with them in the concert?
Not every act.
Okay.
It was kind of like a live karaoke, but with singing, and then they had a staff band in the background, and people here, like the kids, would get up. Okay, we're going to do this song. Sign up for this song. So the house band would learn it. And they'd all get up, and sometimes it'd be 11 or 12 of them up there doing this one song.
Right. Well, it looks like they had a lot of fun. Looks like you had a lot of fun. Do you think you'll come back next year?
I'd like to, but I'd like to have more time with the kids doing it, and maybe get more of a program together to work with them, because now I know what's up there, and rather than walk into a call, I say, this is how it works.
You know there is an outlet for the amp.
Well, there is power, yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning
sir.
and sharing those great pictures.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. I've been speaking with Brian Greenway, guitarist and backup vocalist for April Wine. We're going to take a quick break. Please join us afterwards.
Expect